You want a break from the Amico Drama? You came to the right place. Welcome home.
This show is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Today, what are we going to talk about? You know, there's investors out there that are wondering when this console is going to come out. And the failure to deliver information is something that in television entertainment has to own. There's a lot of criticisms that you can lay, against the company, right? But there's only some of them that really matter to an investor or a potential investor, right? Now, they're always raising funds. They said they're going to have different levels of raising funds. Maybe you out there, right, are thinking of maybe buying low and selling high. I don't know. I don't know what the going rate for today's investment is. I have no idea, right? I would never invest in a venture of this kind just because the type of investing I do is in the stock market and other things. I speculate in different things. I would do crypto or something like that, but not in a venture of this type. But if I was going to, and if you're out there, maybe part of the old man cringe community, wanting to invest in this, these are the questions that I would ask. Now, if you're familiar with the channel, you heard things here before, a lot of people heard them. Overpromise, underdeliver, the quality issues, things of that sort. And I was looking at it always from a business point of view, right? I started criticizing the things that I knew. I know a lot of my fellow Gen Xers out there, especially the ones that like the company. Sometimes when they defend the company, they don't really think about what the mission of the company is for their stockholders. Now, there's certain stockholders that have plenty of money. They don't care. They'll just chip in whatever. But then there is those people that think that maybe they can make something out of their money, right? And maybe they can get a return on investment more than they would at the bank or what have you. Well, whenever that comes up, you have to ask the right questions before you sign the contract. And like I told you, before you sign anything, you got to consult your lawyer. But what kind of questions would you ask of the company at this point? This company has left a lot of money on the table, right? We talked about business before. What can you do in business, especially in investing, right? You can cheat, which will get you in jail, right? You can be smarter than everybody else. Usually doesn't work out. There's always somebody smarter. Or you can be first, right? And this is one question I would ask in television, right? This is where they leave money on the table. You announced NFT first and you didn't act on it, right? Something that's very simple to do. That would be one. What other question would I ask? You left money on the table when it comes to mobile gaming. Obviously, you can do mobile games. How come we haven't seen releases for the mobile phone, especially since you're not launching a console? You see, the mission of any business is to make money. Make money. The mission of any CEO and their primary job is to make sure that their investors in the company are healthy, right? Looking after their well-being, among other things. But when you fail to act and you leave money on the table, that's not something that investors like pretty much, right? And that's not something that you want to see in companies you want to invest. Now, what is my goal of making this video? Well, it's to show you the kind of things you need to look out for, not only investing in this company, but in other companies that we're going to look at further down the line. Do they have leadership that looks forward? Are they working on new technologies? Are they following through, right? Are they keeping their commitments? I mean, we already know the answers to those things, unfortunately for this company, but what would you do now, right? How come they haven't acted, right? When it comes to mobile games, well, if you can sample out your games, and this is something that has been tried and true throughout the years. You can give a couple of samples, demos out there, mostly are free. Man, you can sell games. If you're not going to, make revenue anyway, since you don't have a console, why in the past year, since these games were finished, right? And that's what we heard. Let's take them at their word. They were finished. How come they weren't put on the cell phone market, right? As a sample, you put out 3 demos out there. You could do marketing with that. You can put a demo out for sale. I'll give you an example. You can put a demo out for sale for $5, right? Just a few levels, a couple levels, and give the customer a discount when they purchase the game, right? Eventually, maybe a discount on a physical edition if they would like, right? But then you take advantage of many things. The first thing you take advantage of is that you're earning revenue. The second thing you're taking advantage of is what? QC. You're getting QC for free, right? And you take less PR damage because now it's just a demo, right? You're paying for early access to the demo, and you can listen back to your customers and say, okay, what can we do better in these games? How can we improve these games? So by the time it does hit your console, you have a better performing game. Not only that, let's say you want to put, the game is doing so well, right? Let's say you put Flying Tigers out there and it's, game hoarders like me, you're just buying it up, right? You can release a full version, right? And nothing's stopping you, and then make exclusive content for the Intellivision Amico. There's so many revenue streams here that have been missed, and at the same time, you're taking on larger overhead. Now, is that what you want to see? A company that is not making money, spending money, and not only that, raising their overhead because now they have different platforms. Now, the key here is what the early employee said. We should have started smaller. That's another way of saying is we're in over our head, right? If you want to read between the lines, but they clearly are, right? And what happened is here you have a company that failed to adapt to the changing market, right? Whoever's in charge didn't see forward and see what other revenue streams could have been created other than seeking for investments, right? If you already have a company, just make money. That's the point of the company. I know a lot of my fellow old man cringe community have a hard time criticizing this because some of them have relationships with the staff. Some of them are investors in the company and just want to see, their return. And they think by not criticizing the company might be successful. Well, when you're in business, you have to take a hard look at results. What are your results, right? You failed to launch 3 times. You have no product. Public relations, that I made the observations. Now people are talking about PR. I talked about PR months ago, right? All the drama that you see now between, YouTubers and people that support the console is due to bad PR and lack of information, lack of proper communication, right? This has been building up over time. And another thing you can ask as an investor is your PR going to improve? Who is in charge of PR? Because a lot of people don't see some, especially if they're not familiar. For example, in sales, there's certain things in sales we don't say. And I'll give you a perfect example. This last one, toe jam and Earl. These are very simple mistakes, business mistakes that should not have been made, but now these are on camera, right? You have the CEO making statements about this is what the game is going to have. We're going to have more of this, less of that, without a contract. That's PR 101, right? Salesmanship 101. If I'm out there and I'm trying to sell something, but I know we don't have a contract yet, right? There's 3 magic words, right? 3 magic words that will get you out of trouble every time. And this is taught to every salesman 101. Rather than anything, this shows a lack of expertise, a lack of experience for what you're attempting to do, right? You might have great intentions, but when you make absolute statements, customers demand absolute results. What could you say instead? Our goal is. That's it. Our goal is this. My goal is that. My goal is to lose 40 pounds this year. And when I'm fat again in December, I'll tell you, hey, that was my goal. Shit happens, right? But it's basic things like these that has gotten this company into trouble. there's a lack of expertise for the size of the things they want to accomplish, right? And where does the drama come in? The drama comes in because there's a vacuum of information that the company isn't fulfilling. And unfortunately, who's taking the backlash? The most public supporters of the company. They try to go over and above what the company itself is willing to do. That should not be happening. All these are observations from the outside, right? I know a lot of you wonder why. You know all this stuff, right? Why do you want the console to come out? Why do you think this or that and the other? Look at this. You think this shit is normal?
New videos every Monday and Sunday. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click that notification bell, and remember, never ever be afraid to be happy. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.